California and Minnesota, Jiu-Jitsu and wrestling. All things you won't see on the tail of the tape in this one, brought to you by Dave & Buster's, the only place to eat, drink, play, and watch sports.
And look at the height and reach advantage of Adam Piccolotti. Talk about the Matador and the Bull. He needs to use that range.
Live on Spike, Bellator MMA, presented by Miller Lite. Now moves to the lightweight division, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. We introduce the blue corner first at 5'7", weighing in 155.4 pounds. In memory of Jordan Parsons, he enters tonight with 14 professional victories, 4 defeats. Fighting out of Denver, Colorado, he hails from Minneapolis, Minnesota, Brandon Girtz. And across the cage, fighting out of the red corner at 5'11", weighing in 155 pounds even. The undefeated professional brings 8 wins, no losses from Half Moon Bay, California, presenting Adam the Bomb Piccolotti. In charge of the action, your referee, Mike Beltran.
All the way back, Brandon, all the way back. All right, gentlemen, first round. You ready to fight? You ready to fight? Let's go.
Brandon Girtz' last fight was a quick one. Fight Clock brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Cheers, it's Miller time.
Not only does Piccolotti have the height advantage, Brandon Girtz squats very, very low. He likes to really sit down, not only for his takedown, but for his punches. He loves that overhand left.
He's very hard to get under, and you know, Piccolotti, not for nothing, but it is top or bust. He reminds me of one of my training partners, Michael Chiesa. He's got to get on top. He'll do anything to get there, but he doesn't necessarily like that bottom game. Now, we're told from the gym that Piccolotti is skilled there. Oh, okay, big right hand from Girtz. That's going to slow Piccolotti down a little bit. And you're seeing, Jimmy, to your point, now we're seeing Piccolotti start to change that elevation. If he wants to shoot, if he wants to tackle his opponent, he's got to get underneath him.
Hard to do against Girtz. He loves that low stance, very heavy on the lead leg.
Girtz a little more reserved. I realize we're only 60 seconds into the fight here, but a little more reserved than we've seen him in some of his other contests where he comes straight forward with reckless abandon.
2 things that makes me think of. A, testing the knee out. He's had knee surgery, maybe test it out a little bit, start slowly. Number 2, I'm the veteran. I'm the guy with rounds under me. Drag the kid into a long, deep fight that he hasn't been in before. 2 things I'm thinking of right away.
I think that's been a big question leading into this fight. And, you know, surprisingly, popular opinion around San Jose and Bellator, if you will, is that Piccolotti is the favorite in this match. Now, I see that he's 8-0. I just thought Girtz, with his background and his history and his experience level, might actually tip the betting lines, but that hasn't been the case. There's a beautiful strike right into a shot attempt. He comes up with a knee, and we got Girtz stumbling back. Oh!
Girtz got caught. He's hurt with that right knee. He stumbled a little bit. Remember, that's how he got knocked out by Derek Anderson. That was before MVP and Cyborg. That was the signature knee in Bellator history when Girtz got knocked out by Derek Anderson.
That definitely hurt him. He's recovering here, but that knee definitely stunned him.
Boy, he took that knee and they just threw Adam right across the ring. Bought himself a couple of seconds to recover. Another good kick there by Piccolotti. Piccolotti's speed is seeming to be the difference here. He's got a little length over Girtz, and he's got some very good speed. Good outside kick.
He's hit that knee a couple of times with that kick.
You can see Piccolotti's confidence growing a little bit.
Girtz hasn't really attempted any takedowns, Jimmy, which surprises me a little bit, and perhaps he's a little more respectful of Piccolotti's guard than we gave Piccolotti credit for. Another great opportunity for Girtz to tackle him, but he declined.
Doesn't go for it, and also he got knocked out going for the takedown in the Anderson fight. That could make him a little gunshot.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Oh, there's a good shot by Girtz. It missed. Piccolotti with a good reaction.
But you see how much, because of the height disparity, because of the range disparity, Girtz has to commit to every shot. He really leans into every shot. Piccolotti, though, when he throws combinations, they're a bit quicker, they're a bit sharper.
Piccolotti coming to the outside, 2 kicks in a row. And there again, Girtz being a little bit hesitant. In Girtz's other fights, I would see him close the distance. I would see him look for a tackle. We're not seeing that tonight.
No.
We're seeing him again with his knees bent, a little lower stance, stopping a takedown perhaps. But why isn't he out looking for his own?
Also opposite stance. A lot of times a single leg is right there. It's right in front of him. He's not going for it.
Piccolotti again to the outside of the leg. Girtz swinging a little wild.
He loves that hook over the top from the southpaw stance. He likes the right hook, likes to get it over his opponent's jab. Problem is Piccolotti hasn't been in range for it.
So we talked about guys not feeling comfortable on their knee. Georgie Karlhinen and Daniel Weichel.
Yeah, exactly.
This reminds me of that.
Just not quite aggressive, not quite pulling the trigger enough. Seen it many times before.
Piccolotti's just making him guess too much, guys. He's throwing straight punches, straight kicks up the middle. Even when they don't land, if you're Girtz and you have a wrestling tackle your opponent mindset, those straight kicks and knees up the middle make you think twice, and that is what Adams doing so well. Strikes to the outside, to the inside.
Putting roadblocks in the way of that takedown.
That's exactly right, and Girtz just isn't able to get his offense going. Competitive first round, but when it's tit for tat, the judges have to look at that. And Piccolotti has definitely touched Girtz more times than Girtz has touched him. There's another knee right up the middle. It landed.
Wow. Adam Piccolotti aggressive from the opening bell. A tremendous round one for Adam Piccolotti.
Incredible.
Great stuff. We talked about Piccolotti's jiu-jitsu. What he showed in round one was range and versatility. Great combinations. He hurt Girtz more than once in that round.
Second round. You ready to fight? You ready to fight? Let's go.
I couldn't help but feel that Girtz was holding back from an energy standpoint, and that he was holding back a little bit in that first round. We're going to find out in the second frame if I'm right or not. Perhaps Piccolotti is just not giving him the angles he's looking for, but I did feel that Girtz was a little bit reserved and maybe saving something. We're going to find out here in just a moment. Piccolotti picks up right where he left off in round one.
Stunning numbers. The efficiency. Not that Piccolotti would be throwing them as opposed to Girtz, but how many he connected.
And the problem with Girtz is, you know, the versatility of Piccolotti impressed me in round one. Girtz is going right hook over the top, lead left. Those are easy to see. Piccolotti's aware of those punches, and Girtz keeps throwing the same combination over and over again.
Piccolotti's talking to us about striking, striking, striking. That's what I've been working on here. He knows his jiu-jitsu game is slick.
Just enough angling from Piccolotti that he's not a stationary target for the punch or the takedown.
These are
just enough.
Guys, these are some great combinations from a technical standpoint by Girtz. The range is simply off.
Yep.
The hooks are perfect. The uppercut to a straight, perfect. We just saw Conor McGregor do it a week ago. The combinations are solid, but he's not finding his range. If this is a dance, Piccolotti is the one leading it. And Girtz has got to change that if he wants to win these rounds.
And every time he goes in, as he always does, head first, rushing in like that, he's tasted a knee. It's happened 3 times now.
He's landing power punches, but they're all landing on the chest, because as Piccolotti moves back, he senses the range. He's just out of range of those overhand punches, just like that. I'm surprised Girtz hasn't thrown that same combination, maybe gone to a double leg off that. He has Piccolotti reacting to it, but he's not using it to set up his takedown.
I've been wondering the same thing. When he's throwing these strikes and he's getting Piccolotti to react and raise those hands, why is he not following up with the takedown? I really would like to see Girtz on top. I'm curious. I know Piccolotti's got great jiu-jitsu, but is he a guard player? I'd like to find out the answer right here tonight.
And when you saw Girtz in the first round just fling Piccolotti to the ground like a ragdoll, he has the strength advantage, man. He is gigantic at 155.
Look at what he did to Melvin Guillard.
Ragdoll.
Threw him around.
That's a guy who has trouble. I mean, he's 170 size, and Girtz just manhandled him, but he hasn't been in range to do that. And now Piccolotti's getting really aggressive, trying to walk him down.
Piccoloti's power, I will concede, it isn't quite what Girtz's is. Piccoloti's accuracy is outstanding, and here's the takedown. Now, we talked about him being a top player. This is a problem if you're Team Girtz.
That is the first time Brandon Girtz has ever been taken down in the Bellator cage.
One hook in. Fence is saving him from hook number 2. Still not where he wants to be.
Started with wrist control. Nice. These punches are getting through. Great job by Girtz to scramble to his feet.
And one thing you don't want, a young, hungry, undefeated fighter, is for them to have confidence. Right now, Piccolotti has confidence.
He's starting to realize I can touch my target. And though he's not putting him down, though he hasn't done anything that looks like it's going to be a fight-ending knockout, he is chopping away at this tree. And the bigger, stronger Girtz is still trying to figure out how to get going with his own range.
How many times have you heard, oh man, it's frustrating hitting a guy and they don't go down? No, it's more frustrating getting hit over and over. I'd rather be the one doing the hitting, which is what Piccolotti's doing.
All night long. That's right. They are good. He comes inside. He's been throwing the outside leg kicks. Now he's coming inside.
People who say that didn't fight.
I'll be frustrated with my arms tired as opposed to my face kicked.
Yeah, seriously. Man, nice shot right
on a strike. This is an eye-opening performance right now for a young fighter that people, if they don't know, now they know.
Guys, I'm watching Adam Piccolotti. He's throwing kicks to the outside, then he comes inside, then he surprises you and comes up the middle. About 2 hours ago, right here in this Bellator cage, I sparred with George St. Pierre. George St. Pierre did that to me all day long. He threw kicks outside, then inside, then he went up to the head. I finally said, George, what are you doing here? He said, I'm getting your eyes used to thinking I'm coming low and then I'm coming high. Very basic principle, but one I needed to be reminded of, and one that Piccolotti is reminding Girtz of right in front of us now.
And you don't want that lesson in a fight. You got it in sparring. This is an actual fight. You see it for the first time.
And for any of you that had GSP in the Bellator cage in your Bellator bingo tonight on Spike, you can check it off. Stop. In the corner of Brandon Girtz, pleading with him to get this thing to the ground.
All right, gentlemen, third and final round. You ready to fight? You ready to fight? Let's go.
If we don't see a takedown attempt, a big one, a concerted one in the first 30 seconds of this round, I don't see this fight changing around.
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And to your point, yes, Girtz has got to mix this up because standing here just isn't working. Again, his technique's perfect. I'm watching these straight right, straight lefts, the kicks, so much power, so much precision, but they're not touching the target, so they don't count. They're air balls. And that's just the truth. I feel terrible saying that, but it's the truth for Girtz when he watches this later. If it doesn't touch the target, it simply does not count.
And Piccolotti, defensively, he lets his hands float and get a little low. The openings are there. He just hasn't been in range. That was a nice shot. Needs to stay in the pocket right there, and he can't do it.
And again, when those shots land and he has that momentary pause by his opponent, that's a great time to change elevation and look to tackle him. Look for the takedown, bring him down to the mat. Let's get this to a round for Girtz that he hasn't tested yet.
Maybe the knee is healed, but I don't see a guy that has confidence in that blast double leg you need the knee for.
I do a podcast in my hometown of Westland, Oregon. Brandon Girtz came in the studio. He came in with Pat Barry, one of his teammates. He came in with Thug Rose Namajamas. I said, what are you guys doing in Westland, Oregon? I said, you know what? We went out, we did some camping. We wanted to leave technology behind. I will get back to this in a minute. This is where we wanted to see Girtz. Ooh.
Right back up.
Oh, and that is very frustrating if you are the wrestler that uses and expands that huge amount of energy. You want to settle in that position for a moment. Girtz wasn't able to.
It was Piccolotti who went for the single leg. Now, Piccolotti doesn't have the same wrestling background at a high level like Brandon Girtz, but at a very young age, that's where he started. He comes from a wrestling background. Fell in love with Jiu-Jitsu later, so he has some of it, enough of it. But he was confident to try for a second takedown.
Another excellent left hand, but it just misses its target. So these guys all come to my hometown. They were out doing some camping. What they did, they wanted to leave technology behind. They wanted to go out in the woods and philosophize. They wanted to figure out, what do we want to do with our careers? They spent a week out in the woods. I don't have the foggiest idea what that has to do with a fist fight, but they did, and they said it helped, and as a team, they all regrouped. Again, beautiful left hand, misses by a half an inch.
Because if you swing like that in the woods, it don't connect, doesn't make a noise.
Is it a real connection? I don't think so.
I have a feeling the judges here tonight will say no.
And it's always the same number of punches. He's not doubling up on the jab to change the timing to get Piccolotti overreacting to something. He needs to flip the script. Even if he wants to stay punching, throw me something different. Hand to foot, foot to hand. He's not doing that right now.
Waiting in the wings. The return of the Bellator cage of Michael Venom Page. His toughest test against Fernando Gonzalez. And then the lightweight world title fight, years in the making between Ben Henderson and Michael Chandler. Best offense of the night for Brandon Girtz.
Yep, a couple are getting through.
Oh, nice hook over the top.
And that's Girtz coming forward, what we expected of him all night. First time he actually does it, and he's having some real success.
This is the exact opposite of the Melvin Gillard fight, which Girtz dominated for 2 rounds, and then he got careless, and Gillard almost caught him.
My question here, was it smart to go for the takedown where Piccolotti can maybe stall and get his recovery back? I thought he had him hurt on the feet. He finally got the takedown, but was it the wrong timing? Should he have stayed on the feet? Because now Piccolotti can clear his head. I thought he was hurt.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Piccolotti clearly up 2 rounds, possibly up in this third, but the bottom line is all he needs to do is ride out another 60 seconds. Girtz, on the other hand, needs a bar. Piccolotti might have this. The question is he below the knee? He is. This is very dangerous territory.
Brandon Girtz trying to roll out of it.
Now all Girtz needs to do, guys, is take this foot that he's posting on the butt and pull that knee outside of range. He's not quite safe. Now he is. Now he's safe. There will not be a knee bar. Girtz on top.
Piccolotti now trying to calf slice, but he's not going to get that from there.
This is a tremendous effort by Brandon Girtz. He knows exactly what the score is.
As we said, top game player. He's a top game player.
Now Girtz, I think, needs a finish. 15 seconds left. Hearing the final bell, I don't think is good enough.
Piccolotti holding tight. If he can keep his head in close, he can keep himself out of danger. Very nice position here.
Won't get it.
A furious comeback for Brandon Girtz. Was it too little, too late? A great fight between Brandon Girtz and Adam Piccolotti. Let's check out the Black Card Premium Spice Rum Replay. The bold 93 proof rum. It's edgy to the core.
Adam Piccolotti at his range throughout this fight. Brandon Girtz not able to find a home for his punches, not able to get his takedown going. Was always on the outside looking in until round 3. He was able to get in, land some power punches, finally get a takedown, end the fight on top. But it could be the classic tale of too little, too late, because the majority of this fight belonged to Adam Piccolotti and his kickboxing.
That last burst of offense from Adam Piccolotti might have saved that from being a 10-8 round. Adam Piccolotti, a great performance. Did he stay undefeated? We'll find out next. Adam Piccolotti kept Brandon Girtz at bay for most of that fight, and that is how he did it. He was very efficient with the legs and with that knee that stunned Brandon Girtz early in the fight. Let's make this one official.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go to your 3-cage side judges. Mike Bray, Sue Gitlin, and Derek Cleary all score the fight exactly the same, 29-28. All see it for the winner by unanimous decision. Still undefeated, Adam the Bomb Piccolotti.
Another step forward, another test passed for Adam Piccolotti as he climbs higher and higher. He's with Jimmy Smith.
I'm here with your winner, Adam Piccolotti. Adam, A lot of people saw this as jiu-jitsu versus wrestling. It was on the feet most of the time, and that's where you won it. How does that feel?
Man, it feels great, you know, to get in there with the real vet like Brandon Girtz. You know, he's tough all around. He hurt me in the body pretty good, slowed me down. So, you know, the stand-up fights was fun. It's what I'm improving on the most. And I thank him for the opportunity to thank Bellator and San Jose for coming out to support.
To go from up-and-comer to contender, you need a win like the one you got tonight against a very experienced guy. What's next for you?
That's it. I talked to a couple of the media guys. I said, win this fight, I'm a contender. What's up? I'm a contender. Don't say prospect anymore. I'm coming. I'm trying to make waves in the lightweight division. Keep them coming. I'm going to keep beating them down.
You heard it. Give it up for Adam Piccolotti, ladies and gentlemen.
All kinds of waves being made in Half Moon Bay right now as Adam Piccolotti makes his statement at 155. There's a lot of buzz going on social media right now. We've already seen GSP tonight. We've seen Hoist Gracie. And you're in all kinds of stories about Hall of Famers and big announcements coming up. But Adam Piccolotti just made a big announcement of his own that he is a force to be reckoned with in the lightweight division.